Alright, so we back with another video. Today we got y'all boys with the updated Premier League ranks. Now, I did this twice. The first one was stupid accurate. The second one was even more accurate. But I've gotten trolled. This is going to be the first time y'all see it. I've uploaded the other two. But I'm not going to speak too much on it. We're just going to move in a new direction. So, today we're going to be doing our predictions. We're going to do another one at the end of the January transfer window. I want to do one before it. Next video I will be doing is a top 10 player power ranking. I don't know if I did that yet on this channel. I know I did the team. Shout out to the team one. If you haven't, go watch that. But today we're going to be doing the Premier League. Premier League is the best league in the world. If you question that this year, I don't know what to speak on. I'm going to speak on it. Why? But yeah. Y'all do want more videos like this, make sure to like. Make sure to subscribe. All that good stuff out the way. Further ado, man. Let's hop into it. Alright, so let's hop into it, bro. I don't know what I was just doing. Let's hop into it. So we got the tiers champions. Now, I had said this in the other part, but I have to take that out because I trolled. I think that is top 5 gets Champions League, but I could be wrong. I think that they changed this one where it's top 5 gets Champions League, but if it is top 4, I'm going to keep it like this. It don't really matter too much. It's just going to be the tier. Europa League, 5-6, Conference League, top 10, mid-table, escape and relegation. Let's get into it. First team, AFC Bournemouth. Now, Bournemouth was a team that had a good, hot start. This is kind of how the Premier League works this year. Premier League, you can have a good stretch of games, and you could be in top 4 race. You could be in the league race. A good stretch of games takes you really far in this league. And it's a lot of really good teams in this league. That's the issue. You could have a good stretch of games where you're winning games, and you can have a good stretch of games where you're dropping games. And every single team thinks that they're this level of team because it's deservingly so, because there's so many teams that's around the same level. Like, you got teams like Crystal Palace. We're going to talk about it. AFC Bournemouth, I think, in my opinion, they were just kind of exceeding expectations. I think they're kind of coasting. I think they have Europe. I don't know if they have the squad for it. Personally, I still think they end up top 10. For me, I'm looking at it. Brighton is top 10 now. And Brighton has been very inconsistent recently. So, I don't know, actually. I think Bournemouth in top 10. Early in the year, I had them kind of low because they lost a lot of guys. They're a lot better than I honestly expected them. But their manager is very good. Shout out to Semenyo. Semenyo is one of the most underrated players in the world. And this is kind of what I was saying. I feel like when it comes to the Premier League, what's happened is why it is the best league in the world. And why you can even argue some of these teams that's like, you wouldn't even think of being as good as they are, is because a lot of the teams, like Premier League is pretty much all the best players from all the other leagues, mid-table teams. They now have gone to the Premier League because Premier League has all the money. So like, think about all like the non-Bayern, Barcelona, Madrid, PSG teams. Just think about all those non-teams. A lot of the best players on those top teams in those leagues are now going to Premier League teams, so it's now making the Premier League a lot more stacked than it kind of really has ever been. So, yeah. But Bournemouth is actually, they lost some pretty important guys. Like, they had, their center back went to PSG, their other center back went to Madrid. Zabarni has actually been really good. Hoyson, I thought was going to be very good for Madrid. He's been kind of shaky. And then you got Kirk, he went to Liverpool. That is not working out. And Bournemouth has kind of just replaced those guys, and it's been very good for the most part this year. Now, it's starting to see cracks more recently, but I like the way that they play where they don't really try to sit back. They actually try to press, try to play possession, and yeah. Now, I think the issue is they're kind of a little bit too much reliant on Semenyo, but I do think, honestly, thinking about their full team talent-wise, I don't know if I believe in their talent too much. I do like the manager. I do like Semenyo, but for the most part, I don't know if I believe in their talent overall still. Then we have Arsenal, arguably the best team in the world. They have crazy fans. Their fans are actually outrageous. I won't lie. They be saying some crazy things. But as of right now, Arsenal, they're only 2 points up. They could be choking. I don't really believe in Arsenal, but I do honestly believe they have the best team in the world, especially squad. Like, they have injuries and they still arguably have the best team in the world. And I did a team tier list, and I was doing it based off right now today. Even with all the injuries they've had, I still have them that high. I think the issue with Arsenal is they just don't have a real game-changing player. Like, a lot of people kind of overhype a lot of players in the Premier League, and I do think that's the case in terms of, like, the high-end guys, especially some of them. Saka is one of those guys. I think that Madueke, when Saka was at, I think he kind of did what Saka does, damn near better. And since Saka has come back, I think he's still been good. It's not saying that Saka is not good. I'm just saying, like, he just can be overrated in terms of... and this year, I don't think he's even been as good as he was last year either. But, yeah, I would say... champions for now. Now, another person that's actually pretty overrated this year for them is Declan Rice. I've watched them a couple times now, and people be gassing Declan Rice like he does this, that, and the third. I watched them play against Chelsea. The best midfielder on the pitch was a right back. Now, that's credit to Reece James. But Declan Rice can't really be in those type of convos and a right back goes to midfield, especially when the person that's supposed to be in the convo with him gets a stupid red card, and with 10 men, Reece James still looks like the best midfielder on the pitch. That doesn't really make sense to me. But I do like Declan Rice. I just think he's overrated again. But I think the whole of it, regardless, I even think Eze can sometimes be a little overrated, but I think he could be a guy that could be a game changer for them. Like, you've seen it against Spurs. Like, I think he can be a guy that can be game changer for them. It's just a different situation. I think he just got to get more used to it, but he has some bad games on him too. So I would say champions right now, but we'll see. Because January could change a lot. Aston Villa right now, I've been saying it the whole time. I don't really see what people are seeing. Like, this team is extremely talented. One of the best midfields in Europe. Honestly, not even just Premier League. One of the best midfields. And then when it comes to the defense and attack, I think the defense is low-key the biggest issue, but the attack is actually not bad either. So I would say, I'm thinking about the teams I'm going to have over them for that fourth spot. Liverpool, it comes down to Liverpool. It really does come down to Liverpool. How high do they end up coming back to be? Because right now, they're in a bad spot. Where is Liverpool? They're 10th. And how many points is Liverpool off of? They're 7 points off of Aston Villa right now. So it's like, they got to make up 7 points on Aston Villa. Aston Villa don't got to make up 7 points on them. So, that's a tough hill to climb right now. I'm probably going to say Aston Villa top 4. I think Aston Villa can get top 4. Now, the issue is, Aston Villa does have a pretty solid thing of health right now. And they're probably the hottest team in the world right now. Like, I had them top 10 in power rankings, and I thought that was a hot take. That's not a hot take. They're probably the hottest team in the league in the world right now, outside of Bayern. Bayern only have really one loss in the whole year. So, like, you talk, like, their hot streak is from the beginning of the year to now. I think that the Bayern shit is starting to come down. Like, they're starting to trail in games more consistently than they're starting to just straight win games. So, I would say Bayern, I don't know if I can say they're over Aston Villa, but Aston Villa, they're on a straight win streak. A gauntlet of wins, too. So, yeah. But I think bro got a crazy record in that Europa. He probably goes and wins it again. So, shout out to bro. Unai Emery. One of the more underrated managers in the world as well. But I seen somebody say, like, do you think he values that as much as people, like, kind of gloss over it? That's an interesting thing because he's won it with multiple teams. But, yeah, I think Aston Villa, for right now, they're at 30 points, bro. And like I said, all it does do is only take a week, but I gotta give them the credit for what they are doing. And I do think they actually have the talent to do it. Like, I actually like a lot of players on their team. Midfield, attack. I think the defense is a question mark, but even their goalkeeper. The goalkeeper can be shaky, but he still is one of the better goalkeepers in actuality in the league. Like, come on. And it's a World Cup year. Come on, bro. I think top 4. I think top 4. And then we got Brentford. Brentford is an odd team because this is another team I honestly thought was not going to be that great this year. I think, though, it's starting to calm down. The set piece gimmick is starting to calm down. This is a team that's kind of struggled to tie. It's kind of crazy how Liverpool kind of if they had just more ties, I think they would be in a better situation than they are right now. Brentford just don't tie at all. There's another team like that just don't really tie. They're either going to win or they're going to lose, and they've been losing more than they're winning. So as people keep figuring out this Brentford gimmick, I don't really think they have the craziest talent either. I think that Brentford is a team that could be in relegation or escaping relegation. Because I'm going to say, spoiler alert, I don't think it's going to be a team in that relegation right now I don't have going down. It's going to come down to really 2 teams. Really 4. It's going to come down to really 4. I think escaping relegation could be 14th to 17th this year. I think all those teams are going to be escaping. Honestly, I'm going to change that. I'm going to say 14. I'm going to say 14. I think all these teams are going to be escaping relegation this year. I'm going to say Brentford. I think they're going to be an escaping relegation, personally. I think that 18 to 14 is going to be very, very close, personally. And then we have Brighton, who surprisingly is like in that strut of everybody that's like close on 23 points. You got Sunderland with 23, Liverpool with 23. So that's very interesting. But I don't know. I like Brighton. I love the way they play. It's just they kind of been underwhelming this year. They've not been very consistent. Now, this is a team, on the other hand, has been tying more games. Now, with that being said, like I said, though, earlier, all it takes is a good stretch of games, and they could turn up. If I was to gauge, I think them, Everton, and Aston Villa are kind of around the same area in terms of talent, in my opinion. I probably would throw Newcastle in there, but actually, I'll probably say Brighton and Everton are around the same talent, in my opinion. And I would say Newcastle and Aston Villa are in the same area of talent, in my opinion. I don't really understand why Newcastle is that low. So, I'm going to say Brighton, personally, I'm going to go top 10. I think they're going to finish top half. I think, does Brighton have Europe? I think they have Europe. I'm not 100% sure on that one. I'm going to say top 10, though. Then we have Burnley. I think Burnley just goes down. I think this is, if we talk about any of the relegation teams that's going to go down, I think Burnley is going to be that team. Like, this is how I look at the Premier League this year. I think it's 19 teams that you could genuinely lose to. Wolves is the only team that's pretty much a free win every single week. And if I had to say, like, you would be favored every game, but you could lose, I would say it's Burnley. I would say every team above them genuinely could be a trap game. Genuinely. I think Burnley could beat you, could get a result. They don't have a lot of ties, though. Burnley might be the worst actual Premier League team. I think Burnley is Premier League level this year. It's just, they're just relegation Premier League level. I don't think there's a lot of relegation Premier League level. I think Wolves is just not Premier League level this year. They probably just championship level, to be real. But we'll talk about it when we get there. I'm going to say Burnley relegation. Not much to talk about there. I think if they would have kept James Trafford, they would be in a better situation, though. I won't lie, but it is what it is. Have they given up the most? No, they haven't. They've given up the second most, but yeah. Then we have Chelsea. Chelsea is an interesting one. I'm going to say they had a pretty interesting week, man. I'm going to keep it being. Like, they was going crazy in terms of, like, talking about what they was going to do this year and stuff like that coming into the year. And I was one of the guys that actually believed in Chelsea to go far because how well they play the top teams. I mentioned that in my top 10 video. Now, my ranking in that top 10 video looks crazy. But I still believe there's one of those type of teams in terms of they're still going to probably be top 10 the whole year. It's just they're inconsistent. And Chelsea is the epitome of what I mean. Like, you can have a good stretch of games and have a bad stretch of games. But I think Chelsea probably does still in top 4. The issue is, it's going to be either them or Liverpool that ends up top 4. The issue is Liverpool just having their bad stretch early. You know what I'm saying? And Chelsea's having, they're going to have their bad stretch in December. I think that's just what it is. They kind of do this every year. What happens after December? The issue with Chelsea for me is, what are they going to buy in January? I think they're going to make a lot of purchases in January. Are they going to be big purchases that's going to change anything for them? I don't know if I trust them to do that. I trust teams like City. I trust teams like Liverpool to do that. I don't know if I trust Chelsea to do that. That's why I'm kind of scared with City. They may actually win the league. I want this prediction to be as accurate as possible. I'm going to say Chelsea, though. I'm going to say top 4 for now. I'm going to be honest. I think Chelsea and Aston Villa are actually very comparable in terms of teams. I actually like João Pedro. I actually like a lot of players on Chelsea. I think there are Aston Villa is just straight up overrated. I'm not going to lie. he was getting put in Yamal talks way too soon. It's just what it was. Like the Leonard Carl, he should be in convos for him. And I ain't gonna lie, Carl is better. It's not even close, in my opinion, in terms of the talent. I like Esteval's finishing, but I think there's a lot of stuff overrated about him for a winger. Like he's not the paciest, he's not the best dribbling winger. He's a good finisher, and it'll be sometimes will also be wasteful. So I think he's just young. You gotta let him grow, and it's a lot of stuff that he can improve on. But like I be seeing people say he's a generational, he's a Ballon d'Or, he's confirmed he's gonna win a Ballon d'Or. Like I don't know if people realize this, but Mbappe don't even got a Ballon d'Or right now, bro. I can tell you right now, I can guarantee he's not gonna be an Mbappe level player. It's just that simple. So I think Chelsea, they got a very interesting situation because honestly, with that all being said, he's their best winger. Now, if Cole Palmer is gonna be a right winger, Cole Palmer is their best winger. But then what do you do with Esteval? I honestly think that Esteval is not much of a winger, but Cole Palmer makes it work because of how smart he is. If Esteval can kind of learn from Cole in terms of the smarts, because I actually think Esteval is a really good thinker as well. I think that's one of his better things. I think he can play the right wing, but they got a very odd situation with him. Delap, I don't even want to hear shit about Delap. I don't know why people even tried to gas that shit coming into this year. John Pedro I actually believe in, but is he a striker? He has moments of brilliance, but like it's nothing consistent with him. But he's not really a GA person in general. Like you kind of just have to watch him to see how good he really is. So Chelsea's a weird one. They got a lot of inconsistent players like Enzo. Caicedo's one of the best midfielders in the world. It's not really debatable. Cole Palmer is what he is. He hasn't even played this year and he's fifth. That's kind of what's going to give me the credence to say that they're top four, because I do think Cole Palmer comes and that's going to be a huge jump for their attack. Defensively, it's actually not as bad as you really think. I think they just be kind of rotate sometimes, and some of the guys they rotate are just not good. Their press, when you play a big team, the issue with Chelsea right now, they can't break down low box. I think if Esteval was a player that people thought he was, especially in terms of the talent, especially for what they comparing him to, low blocks wouldn't be a problem. But when Cole Palmer comes back, I think that problem is not going to be nearly as big of a deal. So I'm going to say top four. As they get their guys back, they're going to be better against these lower end teams. They may also another thing could be they focus on Champions League. Because like I said, they're a better team for these Champions League teams. Now, if they get a bad matchup, like with anybody, they could lose. The only thing I would say about Arsenal, I don't know, Arsenal is really, they got bad matchups, but almost every situation right now, Arsenal is the best team. The better team in that situation. Chelsea, on the other hand, there's some bad matchups for them. So, we'll see. Crystal Palace, even their managers, Crystal Palace is still top four? Low-key, bro. I thought that Crystal Palace was falling down these. Okay, Crystal Palace is a very weird one. I think they are going to fall down these, to be honest. But they're a very weird one. They could be in a very different situation right now. I don't think they're going to buy people. I actually think Crystal Palace is actually very talented. Apparently, Munoz is out for some time. So, I don't know how that's going to go. But I actually think this team actually has talent, to be honest. I think they have talent all around the pitch. A striker, pretty much an attack. The wing backs, the center backs, the midfield. I think Crystal Palace is actually another one. I don't know if they're... The issue with Crystal Palace, I don't know if they're Aston Villa talented, Newcastle talented, or if they're Everton Brighton. I think they're kind of more so in the middle for me. Like, I don't know if they have I don't know if they have one world-class player. If it is, it'll probably be Guehi. Wharton, it comes down to how good you really believe. I actually think he's actually good. So, I don't know. I'm going to say Crystal Palace... I don't know if they have the squad to play Europe and this, so maybe we'll see how that works for them. I'm going to say for now, Europa League. We'll see if they get some type of influx of help in January. Maybe they sell Guehi so they can get by other players, but I think that could be a pretty big hit for their way that they want to play, but we'll see. Also, I do think that Guehi playing in a 3-back kind of does make him look a little bit better than he probably is. So when he does go to a 2 center back combo, like if he goes to Liverpool, I could see him not being as good as he is with Crystal Palace, especially with those fullbacks that Liverpool have. It could be a lot harder situation, but we'll see. I actually do think he's good. It's just I think a 3-back can just boost how good you are at center back sometimes. So we'll see. Next we have Everton. Everton is a very interesting one. Because like I said, I think this is a talented team. It's just about how far do they go. I think that they're a top 10. We'll see how high I got them. I think top 10 for sure. We'll see how high I got them. Then we have Fulham. I think Fulham is in those escaping relegation. Right now, it's Brentford 14, Fulham 15. I don't know if this is the order it sticks with. When I watch these two teams, I see Brentford get played off the pitch way more consistently than Fulham. I think Fulham's issue right now is they just can't really, you know what I'm saying? They can't really just win consistently. I think both are actually kind of same record. Fulham just has more ties. They actually have pretty much the same goals and goals against. So that's kind of a, I don't know if that's a good point to make. But for the most part, I'm standing on it. I do think Fulham, I don't know if Fulham has a lot of talent though. That's another thing with Fulham. They don't really have the most talent. I think they just have a really good manager. They have some players, but it's not crazy talented in my opinion. It's one of the least talented teams in the league in my opinion for sure. So yeah, honestly, I'll put them under Brentford for now. They might be my team going down looking at this. They actually might be my team going down. We'll see. Then next we got Leeds. I don't think Leeds is going down. I don't know. Leeds and Fulham is actually debates in my opinion. I think that's real debates in my opinion. Honestly, keep this. I chatted. Keep this. I don't know if I'm putting this other team here. Yeah, keep this. Keep this how it was. Keep this how it was. I just had this, bro. Why is it acting like it wasn't like this earlier? Okay, that's why. Okay. Okay, my bad. That is there not supposed to be? Okay. I just trying to make it sure it fit. But yeah, I'm gonna say Leeds is escaping relegation. I'm gonna put them there. I think that this is a team that's been competitive. I think they're gonna be able to escape. They may still get relegated. It's gonna be between them and one other team. I think Fulham and them is gonna be really the fight. Brentford might make it a fight, but I think Brentford can kind of steal wins with that set piece. We'll see how long that lasts. A lot of teams in the Premier League kind of do like the set piece though, so we'll see. Then next we have Liverpool. Now Liverpool is a tough one. Liverpool is a tough one. Liverpool right now has 7 wins, 2 losses, 2 ties, 6 losses. Now I think when I was doing the top 10 at that point, they didn't have a single tie. I think they had 6 wins, 6 losses. At one point, I think by the time I actually uploaded it, it had changed. But right now, the goal difference is 0. 24 goals against. Bro, they're literally a mid team right now. Now, the thing with Liverpool that's actually pretty funny, people like to talk about Wirtz as a bad signing. Wirtz is actually, if you've been watching their games, he's been their best player. Like for the last at least minimum 3 games. Minimum. Counting Champions League 2. He's been very, very good. I know people care about GA, but like, and I get it. He bought for so much. You kind of, especially in that position, you kind of do want GA. I get that. But watching him, and people was making fun of the running, but the actions he's doing to himself and others, he's very impactful. Very, very meaningful player for the team. I don't know if he's gonna ever live up to that price point, but he's a very, very good player. I think it's kind of added in was the age and the potential and how good he already was. But even if you look at Wirtz for like Germany, he never was like that price of a player. He only was really like price of a player at, I guess, Leverkusen. But yeah, he's been very good the last month, I would say, for Liverpool personally. But really since that Madrid game, I would say he's been very, very good to me. But and the goal that they said didn't count, I'm not gonna lie, that's crazy. Like, bro, it barely took a touch, and they just don't want bro to have a goal at that point. I'm gonna keep it being. But Liverpool is a tough one because they still got the Izak situation. Now they got the Salah situation. I do think if they can get off Salah, that's gonna make the situation so much easier for them because Salah, I've kind of talked about it. He's another guy that's kind of overrated in the Premier League. I think last year, debatably was the best player in the Premier League. I thought it was Van Dijk personally for me. But when you think about how important he was to their attack, everything in their attack went through him. And when it did go through him and he was getting the GA that he was getting, it made sense for him not to press. Now you have all these other guys that you're trying to play through at the same time as trying to play through him, and he's still not pressing. Now you have an issue because your defense is awful. So, yeah, I think a lot of stuff with Salah that people kind of underrated was Trent. But I think people are starting to realize that. I don't know if Liverpool fans will ever admit that. But they got that they dealing with. Izak, I don't know what's going on. Ekitike in his own right has actually started to slump a little bit in terms of how he started. He started ridiculously. Who else? Their midfield is not even that good this year. Like, it's actually kind of crazy. Like, people talk about Wirtz, but their midfield, like, Wirtz has been like, it really, Szoboszlai has actually probably been their most consistent player overall. I would say Van Dijk is still their best player. I feel like Van Dijk has moments where he'll have, like, the handball was actually terrible. He's had some bad games, I won't lie. But early on in the year, their best player was Van Dijk. It wasn't even close. It wasn't close. When they was actually winning these games, they was on that streak of winning. When they didn't lose, it was Van Dijk. And then they went on the streak of losing. I think people kind of underrate how good Van Dijk was in those moments in that time of the year where everything around him was bad. Konate has been awful. The fullbacks have been awful. Now, like I said, I don't think Konate is actually this bad. I just think he's not going to be able to be at his best with everything going on that's around him. The midfield is, you could just run straight through Liverpool's midfield. And then you have most of your attackers that don't press. It's a lot that's going on. Now, I do think the new little diamond formation that they got with Izak and Ekitike, then you got Wirtz right behind them. I think that's going to work very well. I think that they also could go to a 3-back with wing backs, but they don't really have 3 center backs right now that they can do that with. But if they did that, I do think those fullbacks that they have would work perfectly with a 3-back with 2 wing backs. I think that would work perfectly and maybe go to more like a. But like I said, I think the issue with Liverpool right now is really a manager issue, honestly. And if Xabi Alonso gets fired, he goes to Liverpool. I'm going to just tell y'all right now, Liverpool could genuinely not win the league, but they could go on a run. Because this team is low-key built. Like, this is pretty much, this team that he has, if he goes to this team will be a 10 times better team than what he had at Leverkusen. And that team went undefeated for a full season all the way into the final of the Europa League, I think. So, I'm gonna just say, bro, if they can get Xabi, this would be a perfect team for him. They just got. I don't know if he would have enough control. I think the issue at Madrid is a lot of things besides Xabi right now. Like, I think the issue at Madrid is like they trying to play a striker that's a left winger, and they playing with 2 left wingers. They don't have a real striker. So now, if you watch the game against Man City, they just keep crossing balls into the box. Mbappe didn't even play, and people will be trying to blame Mbappe for that. But Mbappe's not a striker. He's a left winger. He's just very, very good, so he can play that. But you take him out, now they're not able to score goals consistently. Vini is just, like, people keep trying to say it's form, bro. At what point does form go out the window, brother? He's been doing this for over a year now, bro. Like, if anything, when he has these crazy performances, that's form at this point. Like, I'm sorry, at that point, like, it's only happened twice or 3 times this year. In the past year. So, yeah, I don't know. And everybody was saying this, Vini is not playing the way he should because of Mbappe. So why is Mbappe playing good regardless of what Vini's doing if he playing out of position? That don't really make sense to me. But Liverpool, I'ma still say it really, bro. It's so bro. Them and City are so tough to predict because the January transfer window. I don't even know how they're gonna be able to buy a lot of people because they went so crazy in the summer. But they didn't. You gotta think about it. They bought nobody last year. They pretty much had the same team. They got Chiesa, I think, in January last year. But bro, for the most part, they got no significant purchases. This year, they went crazy because they could. They even re-signed Van Dijk. They lost Trent, which is seeming like a big loss. I don't think it's as big of a loss as people acting like defensively, but attack for sure. But we'll see. I'm going to say Liverpool, I think they still get top 5. It really does come down to them and Aston Villa. Is Aston Villa just too far away? We'll see. It could be Chelsea, though. It genuinely could just be Chelsea. Because Chelsea is only... How far? Chelsea's only 2 points away. Honestly, Honestly, bro, I'm gonna keep it a bean. I think Chelsea just lock in on Champions League. I think they just lock in on Champions League personally. I think they just lock in on Champions League. Then we have City. Because they're only 2 points away. I'm looking at it. They're literally only 2 points away. And we have City, bro. City could genuinely be champions. I think they're going to be second right now. I think they're going to be second. City is very, 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 very overrated right now. I won't lie. Like, the game against Madrid, listen to me. I'm a Barcelona guy. If I had to say any of my teams in the Premier League, I'd probably say Newcastle. Being real, watching that game, Madrid had full control over that game in the first half. Madrid should have been winning. Second half, it was like maybe 10 to 15 minutes where City had any control. Rest of it was all Madrid. But the issue with Madrid is Madrid is another team that just has a lot of overrated players. Vini, Bellingham, they just have a lot of overrated players, bro. It's just what it is. Like, they could not finish the job. Now, the thing with Bellingham that I give him, he's very clutch and he's a great finisher. He couldn't even do that this game. So he was even making he had a poor mistake where I guess he tried to chip the keeper. If he makes that, nobody complains, but he had wide open people where he should have just made that pass. But I'm gonna be honest, there was a lot of times where they had tap-ins they were just missing. Like Vinny had a clear tap-in. Now that's not an easy touch finish off of a corner like that, I won't lie, but that was a bad miss. For a player of that caliber, that is a bad miss. But like I said, at what point is it the player of that caliber? You know what I'm saying? Because even the year people was acting like Ballon d'Or, that was only half of a year and really mainly Champions League. That wasn't the League. The League was literally Bellingham. Bellingham was a more consistent player for that team that year. He had the moments. He had everything until the Champions League knockout rounds. And Vinny took over that. And that's why people was pushing him. But it is what it is. I'm going to say, why did I just start talking about them? But City, on the other hand, I don't really believe too much in this team, but I think they have midfielders playing fullbacks on both sides. I do think they played pretty good against Madrid, but I'm not overhyping anybody else again. Like, when it came to Liverpool, people started hyping them up for their defense against Madrid. Again, bro, I'm not hyping anybody up that play Madrid and get their defense hyped. I'm not doing it, especially with no Mbappe, by the way. Like, at least Liverpool did that against Mbappe. And I ain't gonna lie, Liverpool actually dominated their game. City didn't really dominate this game at all. So that's what's really concerning for me. Haaland wasn't good in this game. People were gassing Cherki. Cherki was okay. He was okay. Cherki is super talented, but he was okay. I don't think Cherki's a right winger. I don't think he can be it. Doku was the only person I would say was fantastic in this game. Foden was okay. Honestly, outside of Donnarumma actually was pretty good too. Donnarumma was pretty good. I don't believe in their back line. Their midfield, I don't know what they're trying to do, personally. There's not really a balance. Like, Nico Gonzalez, like, I don't really know how to really gauge him. Like, he's okay. He's not, like, people are saying he's a Rodri replacement. I don't see that shit at all. Like, I think he's okay. I don't even know if he's all the way good, honestly. So, and I'm thinking, we got to think about it for City. Is this a good player for Everton? Yes. For City, you got to think about the players City has had. Like, I don't know if this is a league-winning side talent-wise. And I don't know if I can believe in City to beat Arsenal. Because Arsenal, think about it. Nico Gonzalez versus Declan Rice. Nico Gonzalez versus Zubamendi. Like, come on, bro. I can't even try to get that off. You know what I'm saying? I do think Phil Foden is starting to get on form. But look at the teams he's getting on form against. So, it's like, I don't know. I really don't know how to really gauge it all the way. And City did lose that game to Leverkusen, but that was a rotated side. I think this team has a similar issue as Madrid, where they kind of are too dependent on Haaland. I think Foden getting into like form is gonna make a difference. I think Cherki is gonna be their low block breaker. He can be their game breaker as well overall. He's gonna be their assist guy. He may actually lead the league in assists, by the way, this year. But I don't think they're defensively solid enough. I don't know what they do in January. Like, who do they buy in January to fix this situation? Like, I was looking at Slaughterbeck for Barcelona. Could City go and get Slaughterbeck? Could they go and get him? Like, I'm sure they got the money. I'm trying to, like, really think about guys they could buy midfield. Because bro, this is, like, City, if you watch City, previous years, they will be controlling every game. This year, I would say because of Haaland, it's been so good. They've kind of built their system more so around Haaland, but at the same time, it's kind of been more so defensively solid. But if teams are starting to figure that out defensively, and Haaland is starting to get out of form, what then? So then I think they need to kind of get a better midfield so they can control games more like they used to. Right now, they don't have the midfield to do that. So I don't really all the way believe in this City team beating Arsenal right now. Depending on what they do in January, I'm trying to even think of who they could buy. Like, there's no way Crystal Palace sell Wharton and Gahey. There's no way they sell either. I don't even know if they sell either one. To sell both would be crazy. Wharton could be a guy that could be big for City, though. Could Rodri just come back and just fix everything? I feel like I've heard that way too many times. I even heard Rodri himself say, I'm not just going to come back and fix everything myself. You know, so I think that was after the Spurs game. I'm really trying to think about who they could buy. I do think they should buy Rodrigo. Rodrigo was fantastic in that game. So if they could buy Rodrigo, have him with Doku, you got two interesting wingers. Now the issue is, I think Rodrigo is a left winger. He can play right wing, but he's a much better left winger. Does he play right wing for Doku? I don't know. Can Doku play both sides? I'm only really seeing him play left. So I don't know. That's an interesting situation over there with City. I do think a Rodrigo, Foden or Cherokee 10 with Doku on the left, Haaland in front. That's a good attack. It's a very good attack. It comes down to after that, what do you get behind that? I do think if you get Rodrigo, you don't really, you know what I'm saying? You don't really have the ability to purchase more than that. So maybe you don't go with Rodrigo, because then at the same time, you still gotta have to play Cherokee and Foden. I don't know how they make all this work. I really don't. Because I don't think Cherokee's a right winger. Foden can play the right wing. So then you play Cherokee at the 10? I don't know. Then you got United. United should finish high because they have nothing but the league. They have just the league. I don't think that this team is that good, personally. I think that the issue is, and I'm saying in accordance to the league, I think that the issue is they're going to place higher than they probably would if we just talking about a talent perspective. And also, by the way, this is another one of them teams where the fan base is just overreacting. Now, I do think the Everton game was a bad result, but I don't think the West Ham game was that bad of a result, personally. I think you should expect to win, but West Ham, since they got that new manager, that's not an automatic. It's not an automatic win at all. So he went over there for a reason. He did what he did like last year with Nottingham Forest. You see what's happening with Nottingham Forest without him. So I think you just gotta kind of respect him, to be real. United, on the other hand, I think that the manager. I see a lot of people complain about Kobe Manu not playing. Like, do people not realize Kobe Manu played the full Derby game? Like, do people not realize this? Like, y'all be asking for youth to play. Y'all played youth in the Derby County game, and y'all were getting dominated. Until y'all brought in y'all starters, y'all were getting dominated. So the game that y'all love to blame the manager for, those youth prospects y'all be gassing, were getting dominated by Derby County. Dominated. It wasn't even close. They were creating all the chances. It wasn't close. So, like, I don't really like the fact that people be kind of gassed. It's like Kobe Manu. Every time I watch him, I don't see nothing crazy, personally. I be seeing the comps and I be like, hold on, this why y'all be gassing him. But when are these comps from? Because it can't be from this year. Because every time I watch him, bro, I just see a mid player. Keep it a bean. So I don't know. Lenny Yoro I actually do like, but he be kind of inconsistent. So I don't know. But these are young players. They have time to grow. I don't know if Kobe Manu was playing more last year than he is this year, and y'all were finishing where y'all were last year, and y'all are better this year in terms of consistency. I'm struggling to understand, like, do y'all want to actually results or do y'all want potential? Because right now, the prospects y'all got, you can't have both. You can't have both. Maybe it's somebody in there that's deep. I heard there was like a guy that's like Barcelona, Madrid was trying to take off y'all, like JJ something. Maybe he got it. But the guys I'm seeing on y'all team in terms of Yeah. And then you got Cunha, one of the most overrated players I've seen in my life. Decision making is outrageous. I genuinely don't know. But the thing is, like I said, I think United, honestly, right now, Newcastle and Aston Villa have better teams. They have better teams. Midfield is better. Midfield is better. Now, Bruno goes in either one of those midfield. Outside of Bruno, like Aston Villa probably has the next 3 best players. Newcastle for sure has the next 2 best players. Like, I'm just saying, bro. Like, and then your attack, I think Mbeumo was just overrated. Mbeumo is 100% overrated. GA Merchant. Absolute, like, that is the epitome of a GA Merchant. Bro, I'm not gonna lie. If he not getting a goal or assist, what the hell is he doing? What is he doing, bro? Like, genuinely, what is he doing? He's getting a bad touch, being wasteful. Like, what is he doing? Now, I ain't gonna lie, though. The only reason why y'all at this position is him, because he's doing that. So, you kind of in a situation like Liverpool last year with Salah, except he's not Salah. So, we'll see. I'm gonna say, and then you got AFCON. Oh, I ain't think about that for a lot of teams. That may be bad. That may be bad for some of y'all teams. I ain't gonna lie. I'm gonna say, honestly, I'm gonna put Crystal Palace here. I'm gonna put United 6. I think United finished higher than they probably should because of nothing but the league. They have nothing but the league, and I don't know how. I think they're gonna stay with the manager, and as he gets more like, I don't know what the word is, like, as he's more assured of his role with the team, the players are going to have to, like, I don't know, actually. Because the players, oh, man, the players are not good. I don't think that I also don't think they give a lot of effort either, a lot of times. And a lot of times y'all lose is because of effort, and y'all can't break down anything. Y'all don't have, honestly, Bruno, the only thing I say about y'all manager that I don't like, Bruno should play as a 10. Especially if Cunha's going to be as bad as he's been, I think Bruno should definitely play as a 10. Now, Mason Mount has actually been pretty solid, but he's kind of another Mbeumo without the athleticism, but he at least gives you, like, the work rate of Bruno. He can sometimes kind of give the GA of Bruno. Mbeumo. Bruno's by far your best player. It's not even close. Like, it's just what it is. He's by far. But I won't lie, I like the lick. I actually do like the lick. I like y'all goalkeeper too. Y'all goalkeeper actually nice. Now I'll keep it a bean. If y'all had this goalkeeper the whole season, it's looking a lot different. Y'all might get a draw out of Arsenal at week 1. Cause I'm gonna be real. A lot of people talking about that Chelsea game. United versus Arsenal, they controlled that game and they lost. They just, like, literally, now I won't lie, if Arsenal doesn't get that goal that early, maybe they'd be a little bit more aggressive. But they got their goal and they just sat back. They didn't care anymore. They just let y'all do whatever. Now, maybe that changes the dynamics if they don't get that goal as early. Maybe that allows Manchester to get more chances with Arsenal being more open because they're trying to be a little bit more aggressive. I don't know. Because they were still getting chances, by the way. But, yeah, I do think the Fulham, by the way, if Derby County y'all had this goalkeeper, even with all them backups, even with all them rotational guys, even with all them youth, y'all probably win that with bro too. Because Onana was going crazy in that game. In the penalties too. Oh, nah. Onana was going crazy. I can't lie. I forgot about that. Nah, Onana was going crazy. I actually forgot about that. Onana in them pins was crazy. Diabolical. Y'all probably should have still won that. Onana was in his bag on that one. Nah, that was the point of no return right there. I ain't gonna lie. I'm surprised manager ain't get cut after that one, though. I'm gonna keep it a bean. But yeah, I'm going to say Europa League for y'all, top 6. I don't think y'all finish over any of these teams. Y'all can finish over the rest, personally. Then we got Newcastle. I'm going to say Newcastle is 8. I think that they go on a little bit of a run. Right now, they're only, even with what they at right now, they're only 4 points off of top 4. So, you got to give them that. I do think that they are, who finished? Is it really not top 5? Hold on. I gotta look it up. I gotta look this up. Top 5 in Premier League. Due to strong UEFA coefficient performance, the Premier League secured an extra spot. This makes the race for 5th place crucial. What about What about 2027, I guess, bro? This is actually trolling me. Oh, okay, so it is top 5. So Chelsea probably still get Champions League. So then, is it still 2 teams go to Europa? Interesting. That's actually interesting. I'm going to say, right now, this looks right for me. Right now, this actually does look right. I'm going to keep it being. Right now, this actually does look right, though. Right now. Today. So, yes. United, I'm going to say 6. With all that being said, I do think the 1 week game is going to really lift them over the top. I don't think they have the level of teams of Newcastle and Aston Villa. But I think Newcastle is kind of getting cooked by being in actually the CL. Aston Villa is not in as tough of a league. Or not tough of a league. Tough of a competition. So it's not as much on them, but they also just may have a better team this year than Newcastle, which is debatable. Because I watched that Arsenal game. They could have won by more if their striker wasn't so wasteful. Their striker was just wasting a lot of chances. I'm going to keep it being. Yeah. I'm going to say, Europa League. Forest. I just think Forest has too much talent to be going relegation. They may be in escaping relegation, but I'm going to actually put them in mid-table, personally. I think they're going to be mid-table team for me. I think they're a mid-table team. And then, next, we have Sunderland. Sunderland actually have 8 points on Forest right now. So, I don't want to go too crazy on it, but I don't think they go over Bournemouth. I think that they are a mid-table team. I don't think they're escaping relegation. I don't think they're relegation. I think, off their home form alone, I think that's going to be enough to get them through. I think they're going to be able to be straight. They're literally unbeatable at home right now. They haven't lost at home. So, yeah, I think that's enough to get them through. And then we have Spurs. Oh, somebody got to go down. Okay. Spurs is actually, honestly, for whatever reason, Spurs is the most underrated team in the Premier League. It's just what it is. Defensively, underrated. Center back, underrated. Fullbacks, they're underrated. They even got depth at fullbacks on both sides, which is crazy. The issue with Spurs is their attack. Their midfield, they even got some of the best prospects in the world. I don't know what was Frank on with not playing Archie Gray and Bergvall. Those two guys have talent. Like, I'll be honest, I don't know what the hell Premier League fans, English fans be watching, but I don't know if it's like the English tax. How the hell y'all gas Kobe Mainoo the way y'all do, and then look at Bergvall, and I barely ever hear anything about him. Like, when he wasn't playing, I wasn't hearing nobody complain. Bro is nice. I don't know what's going on. I genuinely don't know what's going on. I don't get it. Like, the hype some people get and some people don't. I don't get it. Like, Esteval and Kobe Mainoo get crazy hype, but Bergvall, I don't see nobody talk about it. Like, I don't get it. He may even, RG Gray is good. I think it's not a big difference between him and Kobe Mainoo in my opinion. But Bergvall actually really, really good in my opinion. I actually like him. I just don't get why he don't play more for a team that they need more talent. They just need more talent on the pitch in that midfield. So, I think Xavi Simons, he been getting it going the last 2 games. You got the Brentford game, and then you have the game. Who was that in the Champions League they played? He had a really good game. He's been really good the last 2 games. I think Kudus has been very good. Colomani has actually been very, very good for them when he's played. He's been very, very good for them when he's played. He's been like probably their most threatening guy outside of Kudus. Like, Kudus has probably been their most consistent. I don't know about consistent, because he had a really hot start to the year. He's kind of slowed down. But when you watch him, he's their most threatening guy game in, game out. Then he kind of started to miss a little bit games, and it was really Colomani. He's kind of started getting going. But the issue is they don't get their threatening guys the ball enough. I think that's more of what the issue is with them. Now, the issue is Colomani a winger or is he a striker? I think right now they probably should just play him striker. But Richarlison is getting the GA. He's getting the goals for him. So, I don't know. It's a tough one. I don't know if he's that good, but he gets the goals. So, yeah, but I actually think their defense is actually not that bad. I don't know what people be talking about sometimes. I just think their midfield is kind of wasteful. They can't really build up that well through the midfield. I think if they play some of their younger guys, though, they'll be fine. Do like a double pair of Bergvall, Archie Gray. I don't know how balanced of a midfield that is with Xavi Simons. I don't know if that's going to be physical enough for the Premier League or defensively solid enough for the Premier League. But, bro, Archie Gray last year was playing center back. So, Like, come on, bro. That gotta mean something. I think they had some games where he was even playing him as a 10. So, like, gotta mean something, bro. I think he's more like an 8. I think that both of those guys are probably more like 8s. Probably Bergvall, probably more like a 10 even. So maybe not. Maybe that doesn't work. That may be the issue with that team. They need probably more like a 6, and the 6s they have are just not good. But I honestly don't think this team is as bad as people act like. I honestly don't. I probably have to lower. Who do I lower? Brighton or Everton though? Right now, Tottenham is in 11th place. Looking at it. At one point though, it did look like the players were quitting on the coach. So I will give credence to that. I will give credence to that. But I think that they've had some interesting results, but for the most part, they've actually been pretty good. They've just been inconsistent. They've had their highs at the start, then they had their lows in between to where that was the last, I guess, week or so. Hopefully they can find some consistency. If they can get another guy in January, they don't really need much in my opinion. I think that they may need a little bit more squad. Honestly, if they can get healthy too. I forgot they got some guys coming back like Kulusevski. I don't think Madison's coming back this year. If they can get just healthier and get a guy in January, I think they could be fine, personally. I think low-key, I probably lower them, and I go here. And then I guess Brighton goes to mid-table. Yeah, I think Brighton goes to mid-table. I think that's how it shake out for the start. And then you already know where Wolves are going to go. They're 20th. West Ham. It comes down to who goes down out of these 3 teams for me. West Ham, like I said, I think that their manager is too good. I don't think he's going to go down, personally. I don't know if the talent is there. I just don't think he's going to go down. Leeds could get somebody in January. Fulham can get somebody in January. Both of these teams are pretty competitive in their losses, though. That's the issue. But Leeds right now, I think the difference I'm going to go with, Leeds right now is the worst. Not the worst, but they're... Wait, who? Somebody had 31 goals, didn't it? Yeah, nah. Wolves has 33. Burnley at 30. West Ham actually has 29, and Leeds has 29. But West Ham, I think, is going to be a little bit more defensively solid now with their new coach. I think to start the year, they had a couple really, really bad results with Potter. But now with their new manager that came from Forest, I think they're going to be a lot more defensively solid. They're going to be in better form, more consistent. Like, look at their last 5 games. They had a draw, a loss, a draw, and a win. Just look at that. And then look at the Nottingham Forest before them. You got to think about all the losses they had in a row with Ange. Just think about what he was doing. It was pretty much all losses. So I think that the form is gonna get better. I'm looking at Leeds. They had a draw, a win, and 3 losses. I think they're gonna be more likely to keep dropping points than West Ham. I'm gonna actually go Leeds. Bro. I think West Ham escaped relegation with the hiring of the manager that they got, and I think Leeds goes back down. That's my Premier League tier list. If y'all do want more of these, I'm going to do another one at the end of January. I'm going to give y'all the top 10 player lists in the world next week. I'm going to try to get these out as frequently as possible. It's going to be mainly NBA, NFL, but I'm going to try to sprinkle in all the things that I really care about. Because I'm going to be honest, right now, football is my main passion in terms of watching. Can't lie. But yeah, y'all do want more, like the video, subscribe. If you're new, further ado, man, it's your boy Fitz. I'm out of here.
Tell them to bring me my money. Yeah!